welcome to Historiespanarna, History Reconnaissance, and World War I, the teacher's riddle. It all starts with a flask that has been in my possession for many years, and until now I have not been able to interpret the final clue to the secret it hides. The key to this story has been in front of me all the time, so join us and discover how the original owner of this flask was caught up in the maelstrom of history. First, let's study the evidence. This is a reservist flask, or as it was called in pre-World War I Germany, a Reservistenflasche, a highly decorative souvenir canteen that was commissioned by soldiers in Imperial Germany to celebrate completing their mandatory active military service. Every young man in the German Empire was signed to a specific regiment for 2 to 3 years of active duty. Upon completion, they were transferred to the Reserve until age 45. To celebrate this milestone, homeward bound or Parola Heimat, the soldiers pooled money or saved up to buy personalized commemorative items like this flask. Now, let's take a close look at the flask. And there it is, the final piece to solve the puzzle. The writing that says Reserve, abbreviated, and crucially, the soldier's last name, Bies. As this surname is uncommon, it made it a lot easier to find the right man in the archives. So, my conclusion. In 1912, the soldier in question, Leo Robert Bies, had completed 2 grueling years of service in the German garrison town of Metz, serving in the 4th Magdeburgisch Infanterie Regiment No. 67. Now he returned home to civilian life in the small Prussian village of Ottock. There he returned to his employment as a schoolteacher, a Volksschullehrer, and surely he also reunited with a woman whose photo was inside the lid on the back of his flask. This could have been the end of our story, but when mobilization came in August 1914, Leo Bies was forced to leave his classroom, recalled as a reservist, Gefreiter der Reserve, to his regiment, and just a few weeks later he was in Bellefontaine, Belgium. There, the German army had moved in a huge swing through Belgium to invade France from the north. In the early morning of August 22nd, the French troops marched out of the village of Bellefontaine in dense fog. They believed that the German forces were still far away. In the woods, just outside the village, the Germans' 16th Army Corps, which included Leo Bies' regiment and its sister units, awaited. The Germans had hidden themselves well and suddenly opened a murderous fire with machine guns and heavy artillery on the unsuspecting French. The battles in and around the village quickly became extremely violent and were fought hand to hand with bayonets. The French soldiers, dressed in their then bright red trousers, became easy targets in the open field toward the edge of the forest. But the German attackers also suffered enormous losses when they tried to storm the French machine gun nest in the village. One of these men who fell that day on the fields of Bellefontaine was Leo Bies. So now, I hope that some veils have been lifted to give this flask its place in history. 5 years ago, our conclusion was uncertain. So, what do you think? Please add your thoughts in the comments. And now to conclude with a final clip from our first video on this topic, published 5 years prior to this one. The woman inside the lid, still unknown. But not Gefreiter der Reserve, Leo Robert Bies.
Was ist mit der Frau und ihrem Soldaten passiert? Das wissen wir nicht. Ihr Schicksal ist uns leider unbekannt. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.